Yup. Hello friends. So if you've read the title, you know that I now reside currently at this moment in South Korea. Craziness, I know. Wow. Yeah. You may be asking, Erin, what the fuck? When did that happen? How did that happen? Why did that happen? All of these things. I don't even really know, honestly. I would have told you guys, but I genuinely did not know for sure that I was going to be coming here to teach and live for a year until about a week ago when I got my visa finally, because girl, it was a long process. I originally started applying for teaching jobs abroad back in probably around March-ish, when I knew I wasn't going to be going back to China to teach. So it's been a long process. Coronavirus has significantly slowed down this process. Usually it would take much faster, but hello. I initially started interviewing for jobs before I got my documents back, and then I realized that my documents were going to take so freaking long to get back that I should really just wait until I got my documents back to interview for jobs. But then when I got my documents back, I started interviewing for jobs, and I found the job that I am currently going to be working at that I really liked, but
then I interviewed with them and I really liked them, and then they were like, just kidding, we went with the person that we interviewed right before you. Do you want to come in December instead? That's when we'll have another available job. And I was like, that's too late, I want to come in October, no thank you. And then a couple days later my agent messaged me and they're like, just kidding, they actually do want you. So then I was like, great, okay. Then I freaking sent them my documents, and then apparently the immigration office didn't like one of my documents, so then they were like, oh, just kidding, do you want to come in December instead because this document was rejected from the immigration office? Then they went back to the immigration office and they're like, just kidding, this document will be okay as long as you bring a new document with you when you come.
so it was just a roller coaster of emotions. Bottom line is, I'm here, it's happening, it's fine. South Korea, guys. It still doesn't really feel that real just because I'm sitting in my apartment and I have to sit in my apartment for about 11 more days. I don't foresee this really being a problem for me just because I am an incredibly introverted person, so I very much enjoy spending time with myself. I like being alone. This is honestly my dream. Nobody here to bother me. I can do whatever the hell I want. I can lay in bed all day. I can just go on my computer. I have literally nothing that I need to do for 11 days. That is the dream. Literally all I have been doing is playing Animal Crossing. It's the greatest. Also grateful that I have all this time to get over this jet lag because I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning. And while I would like to continue to be an early riser just because, you know, my work day is gonna start around 9, 5 a.m. is a little too early for me, so I'm trying to correct that. But yeah, here I am in good old South Korea, SK. When I was looking for jobs, I had to, you know, figure out where I wanted to live, and I really wanted to live on the water, but unfortunately coronavirus has kind of made it so that a lot of hagwons have closed. Jobs have been a little bit more limited than usual. There aren't quite as many opportunities as there used to be. So even though I really wanted to look into jobs in Busan and also Gangneung, basically there was really nothing that interested me because I wanted to make sure that the hagwon that I chose was really a reputable, very good hagwon. So instead of Busan, hello airplane, I have decided to come to the beautiful city of Daegu. I wasn't even that interested in living in Daegu before, but this hagwon that I am going to be working for seemed like a really nice workplace, and I have high hopes for it. I know that hagwons can be a little bit hit or miss, but I have faith that this will be a good place to work, or at least I'm hoping. I'm praying, because I'm going to be working here for the next year. I didn't want to live in Seoul just because that's just not my thing. I don't love big cities, and I thought if I do, I don't know how long I'll end up staying here. I plan on just the year, but we'll see what happens. If I did only do the 1 year, I didn't want to be in Seoul for that 1 year. You know, maybe if I stay a little bit longer, then I might end up moving to Seoul, but I didn't want to start out in Seoul because I knew that it would be a place that I would want to move to later on if I did stay, you know what I mean? I don't know, I just don't think big cities are the greatest place to learn the language or learn a lot about the culture. I mean, Seoul is has a lot of cultural places, it has palaces, it has, you know, villages and things like that, but I wanted to be in a bit more of a traditional place. So Daegu has a lot of traditional, really rich cultural places. Not as many people speak English, so hopefully I'll be able to learn a decent amount of Korean while I'm here. And it also has the convenience of city life, you know? I can get around places really easily, and it has all these shops and things. I mean, I haven't obviously been outside, so I don't really know what's around my house. I freaking have no idea where I am in the city. I haven't done that much research, and I also do not even know what's around my house because when I got here, it was very dark. It was 9 at night when I got here, so not really sure. But my flight was actually very pleasant, despite the fact that I had to wear a mask the entire time. It was actually a very nice flight because everybody had their own row. We were all not very far, but we were all pretty far away from each other. The food was good. My butt didn't hurt, you know, that's a big problem that I always have. When you can't stretch out across 3 seats, you know, your butt starts to hurt from sitting all that time. So it was a very pleasant flight, and it was direct, which I've never done before. I always usually have a layover, so it was a real treat. And then once I got to Korea, everything was so well organized. I got into the airport, went through customs and all that. Obviously had to do a lot of paperwork and stuff. But once I got out of the airport, they bussed everyone to a KTX station. I mean, depending on where you're going, but if you have to go somewhere besides Seoul, they bus you to the KTX station, and then they put everyone that was on an international flight on the same train car so that you're not all, you know, with the other people who don't have to quarantine for 2 weeks, you know? This freaking plane, I think I live near an airport. Like, I'm already used to the noise, but it's gonna be annoying when I'm filming. When I was trying to decide where to teach and where to live for the next year, I was pretty hesitant at the beginning to choose South Korea for a really dumb reason. I was scared that people were gonna call me a Korea boo. I let the hypothetical idea of some random anonymous person on the internet calling me a Korea boo dictate. I almost let that dictate where I ended up living for the next year, which is silly. And I'm glad that I realized that that was silly of me. I had narrowed it down to Korea, Japan, and Taiwan because I had already taught in China and, you know, lived in China, and it was great and I loved it. I loved China, but I wanted to live somewhere else. And I really liked the idea of teaching in Taiwan, but unfortunately a lot of the teaching positions in Taiwan do require that you have some sort of master's in teaching, some sort of certificate, and I only have a TEFL certificate, which doesn't really cut it in Taiwan for a lot of the jobs. So I was unable to really find a job that I qualified for in Taiwan. Then in terms of Japan versus Korea, I was pretty torn between the two countries because I'm very interested in both cultures. I'm interested in learning both languages, and I'm very interested in visiting and living in those countries. What it really came down to when I was making my final decision was the breaks that I would be getting in each country. So the main reason that I chose South Korea over Japan is because a pretty significant portion of Korea's population is Christian, and for that reason a lot of the school breaks do line up with Christian holidays. So Christmas, I figured that I would very likely have Christmas off and I would be able to go home and visit my family. Now, because of the lovely Miss Rona, I don't believe I will be able to go home for Christmas, just because when I come back I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and that's obviously not gonna work because I have to work after the vacation is over, which really sucks because I have not been home for Christmas the past 2 years, so this will be the 3rd Christmas that I'm unable to spend with my family, but you know, 'tis what it is. It's life, right? That's my little life update. Big things have happened since I last saw you. I'm gonna be here for the next 11 days, so if there are any videos that you would like to see from me, any kind of content, please do let me know. I think I might do some sort of Q&A, so you guys can ask me any questions you want about this whole process, about K-pop, about my channel, I don't know. Whatever you would like to know about me. Feel free to leave some questions down below. I might make a little YouTube community post, I'm not really sure, but thanks so much for watching. Surprise! Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.